Uh, Today I would like to talk about some productivity tips when you writing code in Visual Studio Code and PyCharm. Uh, and then I will talk about some some code smells. Um, so for the first part, um, it is like a useful shortcut of PyCharm for data scientists. So this is a list of 10, 10 shortcuts, 10 useful shortcuts that usually used when writing code in PyCharm IDE. So uh, I will talk about it and demo on PyCharm, and so I will talk fast about this. So the first shortcut is optimize as import. It is to delete um, delete some unnecessary import when you when they are not used when you coding. And then some shortcut for reformat code, autofix stuffs, refactoring, and how to uh, generate code. No, no. How to recommend code, and some other useful shortcut like git commit, and searching when you have some doubt when you need to look up for some shortcut. So for the first shortcut link, it is optimized import. Like you can see here, uh, in the file you can see some gray line of code here. There is some library that are used during this file, so we can use the shortcut like Control and O to make it more clear. Uh, next, when you want to auto format your code, you can see here some spaces here. You can choose this line and auto format code by typing Control and L, and this becomes standard format. To fix some error, sundry errors like you can see the yellow highlight here. We can fix it by hit and enter to see. Then you can see the recommendation like remove arguments because this prefix function only receive one argument. So hit enter to remove one spare argument. Next, I will talk about the refactoring. If you want to rename the variables like this, you can see we have you if you want to rename this variable manually, you can type here and here. So, but it's quite um, label intensive. So you can hit the shortcut like Shift F6, so you can rename it simultaneously. Like moreover, you can rename the method name like this. F6. And it will train the function name everywhere when every position where it refer um, to this function. So it we have a pop up here. I will confirm do refactor. So when I found the old name like n here, it will not it will be nothing found. It means that you will already change the variable name everywhere it refer to the original here. Um, so you can see here like we have some string text here. We can extract it to a like a meaningful variable. So we can hit the control and V. So we can extract to a variable name like. So it already has the variable name here in the function. Um, Similarly, we can extract the method like um, I would like to extract this part of code into a function, so I can hit the shortcut Control and M. Yeah. So it will remove all this line of code to a function. Like I will rename it. So it will create a new function. We'll have these two arguments. So we can have the separate definition of function here. It refer it is referred to here. We can remove uh, we can move this function into a separate file by hitting the move method to a different file. We can hit F6. So it will move to a different like this. So we will have the draft file here. So it's just the short function here and the necessary library. And the third thing it can do is you can see it import the necessary function to call later. And the fifth shortcut is IntelliSense. Like if you want to type some if you are typing the random forest classifier here, you don't know what exactly it will do, so you can press Control P to Q to have the information on the website. Uh, you can you, you will find it very helpful instead of you go into the to browser and type the random forest. Like you can type it on the browser to have some information. With the document here, so instead of that you can do it right in your IDE by by pressing uh, so it will have useful information here. And then when you are typing when you are passing when you pass the parameter here, you can hit Control P to have some recommendation of parameter should be passed like this. So another shortcut is like uh, you can see this like use the train model function. So you want to set the definition of this function. You can click the shortcut control B, so it will navigate you to the definition of the function. So so the seven shortcut I would like to talk about is um, the git commit is quite interesting. Like, I pressed Control K, so we can have the commit changes control here. So when I click on the file that I changed, uh, so you can see the changes appear here. It compares the old version versus the current version I have changed. Yeah, okay. So when you want to commit the changes, you can type the message here. So you press commit. It's quite visualized because I think. Oh, okay. Uh, Whenever you forgot some shortcut, you can type double shift, so you can search everything you in doubt. Like you want to know the shortcut for extracting method, you can type here, so it will have a control N here. That are some common shortcut in PyCharm. So when you wanna know more about the PyCharm shortcut, you should go to the PyCharm documentation page for more information. This you can choose your you can choose your OS. So I will choose Windows because I'm using Windows. So it has a table of shortcut and action here. You can search for it. Uh, okay. So for the Visual Studio Code IDM, IDE, I have I have conduct some experiment, but I've got some error that I'm not I haven't fixed it yet. So I just talk about it. Mm, when you use Visual Studio Code, there are some IntelliSense extension that will help you when writing code, like the Python extension Tab9 IntelliCode. Um, when you install the Python extension, it will have the IntelliSense linting, debugging, refactoring, or code formatting intuitive. The Tab9 extension is a is an AI autocompleter for JavaScript, Python, and some kind of languages. The another useful IntelliCode that I that I that I read somewhere and some people recommend it. It is a tool that provides AI-assisted development feature for Python, TypeScript, JavaScript. Basically, it based on the common code um, across in many projects, and when you type some line, it will recommend you some common code following up. Following up. Uh, in order to auto format Python code in Visual Studio Code, you can install the black package. After install by some command like install requirement or pip or something like that. Next, you need to talk to IDE to use the auto format or the linter. So you set the setting file and insert this line of code. Setting. You open the open setting station, so you can change the setting file, insert the black package here. I have some error when config the virtual environment when using Docker, so I can demonstrate you guys now. And then in your code, you create the shortcut Shift and F to how to format your code. And another tip when you write the code is using linter, linter like a mentor be by your side when you writing the code. It can analyze your code and detect some like secondary bug or error you made when writing the code. And sometimes it recommend improve method or how to fix your code. And in some organization, they use linter as a common coding convention, and every developers need to follow this rule. In order to use linter in Python, you need to install Pylin here. So then you need to talk to ID that you want to use linter by tap in the command palette and select linter here. Uh, yeah, this, and you choose Pylin. So the next part of my presentation, I will talk about code smells. Code smells are not bugs or errors, and it's the violation of the fundamental of the operating software, and it will decrease the design and the quality of the code. Um, uh, this is the example of a code of a program that have many code smell problem. You can say overall there are many the 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 state that get the information of your current data. Sorry. Many data frame, many plots. Here is and the print statement here. So print statement and plots give us the feedback when we write the notebook. But later when we refactor and add the unit test or module functions, then the unit test will give us immediate feedback on whether things are going right or not. So with unit test, we don't need get feedback manually directly on the notebook. Uh, there are there are four common code smell example. The first one is dead code. You can see here. Dead code is the code that doesn't affect the output of your program, whether you run it or not. And you can see here you have a print statement, the, the state get information, print statement again, and finally you will save you say you save your result outputted by the train model here. So this is the like the precious thing over this cell. So the good behavior is just definition of your data and the output saving statement. The second CodeSmell example here is Expo internal. You can see we have many manipulating line of code here. The developer want to manipulate the data frame, so they use many line of code here. But it's all about the data transformation, but it's quite long and inconvenient. So you can move all this codes into a function like categorize column function here. So if you want to dive deeper into the function, we can read the unit test of this function itself, which is defined somewhere in your program. The another bad habit is duplication. You can see here this this file line we define the model, fit model, predict and get the accuracy score, and similarly we have another but have another model here and here. So overall we need to like capsulate it into a function here, like we do the load model fit and get the score here. So if you have a new if you want to train different models, you just call the function name here. And the final CodeSmell type of CodeSmell I want to talk about is variables name. When setting the variable name, we need to set the meaning the meaningful name. Like you can see when we load the loans.csv here, we need to say the the according name. Yeah. So it's quite it helped the reader quite easily to follow the code, and like they don't have to waste their mental effort to figure out your puzzles. So this is the end of my presentation. So thank you for listening. Mm, any yeah. Anyone
So
have
anyone have question? So I think most of it is clear. I think all of it is clear. So I think we will move on to the Howard part. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Your turn, Howard. Thank you, Hong.